the land of the original people. African history. Africa is home to the first humans, and this gives a new meaning to its nickname, the motherland. The continent has the longest history. A huge part of Africa's earliest history has been claimed lost, which is typical for early humans due to the relatively short time for which writing has existed. The only part of African history known to most people has to do with the arrival of the Europeans. To many, it is almost as if Alkebulan had no history up until that time, and this is very much not true. There are 15 African writing systems that predate English, yet ask around if Africa had writing before colonization, and some people are likely to deny that Africa had any writing systems before 1500 AD. Not many people know that there are African writing systems that predate Latin. Some parts of African history have been distorted and misrepresented. However, there are parts of African history that remain intact, as modern-day discoveries and new emerging facts are found. Ancient Africans were pioneers of early civilization. Many people do not know this, but the facts are there for all to see. Africa is credited with having the oldest history in the world. The origins of several human advancements were from Africa. There is evidence that early African societies excelled in fields such as engineering, mathematics, writing, even navigation. Sadly, Africa is denied credit for most of her contributions. Some notable great African civilizations such as the Great Benin Empire, Ancient Egypt, Empire of Mali, Empire of Songhai, the Nri Kingdom, the Garamantes, Kanem-Bornu Empire, Kingdom of Luba, Kingdom of Makuria, the Land of Punt, and so many other great African civilizations had a highly organized society that was developed, excelled in commerce, and flourished. Before the slave trade became full-blown, Europeans traded goods with Africa. Commodities like textiles, gold, farm produce, ivory, salt, and palm oil were exchanged. These ancient African civilizations invented and originated their ways of doing things, many of which parallel independent developments around the world. Sadly, Africa is denied credit for most of her contributions. There is clear evidence of sophisticated African cultures from as far back as many thousands of years ago. As far back as 82,000 years ago, Africans had already invented abstract arts and painting. Algorithms, which have become an inevitable part of computing today, had its roots in Africa. Africans domesticated over 2,000 different types of food, some of which today is consumed globally. The direct trade and interaction with the Europeans had a massive effect across all Africa's sphere of life. There are records of wealthy African merchants sending their children to European universities, as covered in The Black Tutors, The Untold Story by Miranda Kaufman. This marked a turning point in African history. The transatlantic slave trade is notoriously the highlight of this encounter. The abundance of the rich natural resources of Africa soon led to avarice on the part of the Europeans, and this resulted in a mad scramble for Africa's resources, including her people. The late 15th century all through to the 19th century saw the exploitation of Africa by European powers. During this period, between 11 and 15 million Africans were shipped overseas and sold into slavery. Africans and their way of life suffered significant damage. The Europeans imposed their lifestyle and religious beliefs on the African people. Traditional African institutions were dismantled or severely weakened, and European proxies set up in its place. Africa, the current name adopted by almost everyone today, was given to this continent by European invader by the name of Louis Africanus. Like all other methods of manipulation, the Romans sought to completely disconnect the indigenous Africans from their culture, deities, and knowledge. Alkebulan, the true name to Africa, is the oldest. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more videos.